I'm more, I would say, an hourglass figure, and so I need to be really careful in terms of not accentuating the backside too much. So I focus more on the kind of essence that I'd like to. So, you know, get something that accentuates the bust line, makes my waist smaller. So I stick to, yes, A-line dresses, which I think the fashionistas dictate that hourglass, that's what you should wear. Yeah, it's a lot. I stay away from, as I said, things that would accentuate. So I don't wear pencil skirts or really tight outfits, and I also wear a lot of black, more on the bottom half than on the top, basically because I feel my backside is a little too big. So by wearing the black, it kind of tones down that, makes it a little bit smaller and gives more attention to the top half of my body. So yes, I'll mix and match with bright colors, wear a red shirt with a black top or whatever it is, but I tend to wear black more on the bottom.
There's about 1.5 inches between my waist and my hip, so nothing that goes around the waist. And that means that you have to choose styles that really fit from the shoulders or fit from just underneath the arms. So I can do styles that flow quite well, or I can do quite square styles with longer, slightly longer jackets than you would normally wear, so that it covers the biggest part of me. Shape absolutely critical. Things to avoid: anything that goes around the waist, nothing with a frill, and nothing that emphasises hips. I do not need pockets on the hips. I'd have patch pockets on the front for preference. If you're very wide at the bottom, you want people's attention to come close to your face, and fortunately my eyes are reasonably good and they're quite communicative, so I would always wear jewellery that attracted attention here and then draw the eye up from there, or a shape that draws the eye up, so quite high collars or an interesting shaped collar, a stand-up collar, mandarin collar.
I tend to like to keep my lines very simple. I like to wear clothes that complement my shape. I'm kind of a hourglass, but I'm curvy. An American designer called Manif C. Found her through frustration, to be honest. Looking for something that sort of complemented me, that made me feel good and confident about myself and my shape. She tends to pay particular attention to women of plus size with ruching, normally along the side, so it sort of takes away all the effect from around the middle where your tummy is, and it just makes you look and feel sexier as well.
The main one is to do with heels. I think obviously being an hourglass and of average height, wearing medium to high heels accentuates my height, so it makes me look taller, it makes me look slimmer, it makes my waist smaller. But I tend to wear flat shoes a lot, which is a definite no-no, which of course does everything else the opposite way around. So I think that would be probably the worst one that I do a lot more than I should.
I think it's really, really important to not be frumpy and feel like you have to just go with what's on the rail, because that's really easy to do, fall into that. I think it's really important that you be an individual, find yourself, know what you feel good about yourself in and what suits your shape. Don't just wear a shape, because that might not be you at all. So it's really important to find your shape. And as I said, with like Manif C, I found that she worked with ladies that were curvy, voluptuous, and sort of like it kind of made you feel good about yourself in that respect.
Dress size is a bit difficult. I think depending on where I'm shopping, my dress size can fluctuate from anything from a size 12 to a size 16. It also depends on what kind of, what it is I'm actually buying. Having a kind of bigger backside seams, that it's a difficult one if you're buying trousers, for example. As much as I could easily fit into a 12, but it doesn't look good. So trousers I probably wear a 14. I think I tend to shop a lot in places like Next. I shop in John Lewis, and I do shop a lot online. And yes, I find that if it is trousers, straight skirts, I have to go for bigger sizes, because the other ones just don't look right, and it looks like I'm wearing somebody else's dress instead of my own.
Hugely variable, and generally speaking, not cut for ladies of my shape and size. I'm usually a sort of 20 on the top. I can go from anything from a 16 to a 20. 16 if I get away with an edge-to-edge jacket. Don't suppose I'd ever be able to button it up. But then, of course, by the time you get down to the hips, it won't button up anyway. The three brands that have always worked well: Jacques Vert, LV in its old form. In its current form, it doesn't work well for me. It's too big on the bottom and not right on the top. And Marks and Spencer's, I can usually comfortably go for a 20 on the top and 22 on the bottom, but often that's too long. For which reason I never get to buy a dress. So very recently I went and tried on a 20 dress, fine on the top, dreadful on the bottom, or alternatively a 22, miles too big on the top, and by the time you've fiddled around taking it in and getting it altered, it really isn't worth it.
Size, it tends to be, for me personally, 18 when it's good, and if not, it's a 20. It used to be 22, 24, but now I've come down to 18, 20. So for me, I shop around. I do not limit myself at all. I will go anywhere and I will look to see what works for me personally. Having travelled and lived for a short while in America, I find it very frustrating when it comes to shopping here in the UK still, unfortunately. Back in the day, America, it wasn't quite there yet. So obviously, we've got the quality. UK is always going to have that quality in our fabrics and stuff. But I find now, if I was to go to New York, it's easy. It's easy to shop. I can find most of the time something that I want. There's lots of shops that cater for me. There's a company called Ashley Stewart in America that I will go into when I'm out there. And generally, yeah, it's just generally easy to find. As I said, I love Manif C. I love her clothesline. I love her. She does her swim costumes as well. Here it's more difficult. I will shop anywhere, as I said. I do like Monsoon. I do like Bendelisi in Debenhams. There are all kind of there and everywhere, but it's a case of shopping around. It's really difficult to find something that fits you nicely and that caters from people of my size. I find that it's getting better. It's improving. It's not stopping at a size 18 anymore. They've actually started to go up to a 20 and a 22. And there's nothing wrong. There's no reason to exclude people of those sizes because we exist. And there's probably more of those people that exist than the size 8 and 6. And so I would love more than anything else to see people start to embrace people of size so we can look just as amazing. And it's not going to look frumpy. There's nothing worse than going into a shop and seeing something for a size 12, say, or 14, and by the time you get to a size 22, 24, you're thinking, oh my God, it looks like a joke. So I think it's really important to keep it still, exciting, young and fresh for people with good size, because we can still work it too. Wear
what you feel comfortable in, wear what you're confident in. I think if you'd asked me the question 20 years ago, I'd probably say whatever fashion dictates, that's what I'm going to wear. Now it's more what I feel confident in, because I think as long as I'm feeling confident in what I'm wearing, it goes over into everything else that I'm doing, how I come across to other people. So my main point of advice would be wear what you're confident in, wear what you feel makes you look good. But at the same time follow the rules, because you don't want to kind of go out there and thinking, oh, I'm looking all good, but you actually not. So yes, read, look at the style guidelines, look at the tips, use them and find what makes you you, because I think it's better for you to have a look that is me. This is Geraldine, as opposed to, yes, I'm just going with the current fashion that is out there at the moment. So that would be my advice.
Know your own body shape well and find yourself a designer who understands that body shape. And most importantly is prepared to listen. You know your body, we're all different. And somebody who wants to impose upon you their fashion styles, not knowing your body or not being sensitive to your body, is absolutely no use to you. So find somebody who understands your body shape and get them to cut to what you know about your body. Decent underwear. Don't skimp on the underwear. Marks and Sparks might be very pretty, but actually it needs to give you shape. And who cares what the colours are underneath, provided they work with what goes on top.
If you had a shape like me, celebrate it. Celebrate it right down from top to bottom. Do your hair, feel amazing about yourself. Do your makeup, feel amazing about you. Learn stuff. Go on YouTube. Learn how to apply makeup. Learn how to do different styles with your hair. And then when it comes to the clothes, I mean, you can always wear an outfit, and an outfit can always look great, but you can always go that little bit further with the jewellery. It's always accessories, accessorize, I say. So nice jewellery to just finish that look off, nice earrings, nice shoes, wear things that's going to make you feel comfortable and confident. So when you're walking, you're just like a catwalk model wearing your outfit and wearing it well. And people will receive you, and that confidence will ooze out of you as well in doing so. And keep it fresh, keep it innovative. Good underwear. It doesn't make sense if you have a really great dress and your belly's hanging out. You have to have the correct underwear. It's got to work.